Today's workout is a beginner level full body workout using your reformer. All you need for this workout is your body and then a ball, preferably one that has a bit of squish to it so that you can provide some tension with your body. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and begin. To set up for this workout, what you're going to need to do is add your footwork spring. So I have 3 heavy springs and a medium, so 3 red and a blue for your leg row 2. And then my headrest is coming up just a little bit here for my head. I'm going to come down to my back, and before I get moving, I'm going to check in with my pelvic alignment from a supine position. So I've got my feet on my platform here, and I've got the ball just lightly squeezing between the knees. I've got my hands on my hips. So I'm going to just create this tuck and release of my pelvis, check in, and really find that neutral. Go ahead and tuck and release. Exhale, tuck, and release. So just by doing that, it brings some awareness into where my pelvis is. If I'm feeling pretty stuck in that area, if I need to do a couple of this posterior, anterior tucking here, just to help me check in with my body before I get moving. Moving through the pelvis and releasing. We'll go 2 more. And your last one. Now your neutral is going to be somewhere in between what you just were doing. So we're not gripping with the lower back. We're just really neutral here. We've got that pubic bone in line with the hips on the sides, okay? Arms are coming right here. Before I do anything, I'm just going to think about arms are long. And now what I want to do is create a tiny little bridge. So I've got this squeeze on my ball. I'm going to tuck my pelvis first, start to roll through my spine, lifting up and holding at the top. So it's not a big bridge to begin, but just creating some effort in my body and then rolling back down nice and slow. Releasing your pelvis, breathing in, exhaling to pull back up into your mini bridge. And then rolling back and down. So notice here that you're creating this articulation of your spine. You've got effort through your arms, and you're just trying to wake up the muscles behind your body, keeping the pelvis even as you create your bridges. We'll go 3 more here. Softly rolling down. And 2. All the way back. And your last one. All the way back and return. Very nice. From where you are, I'm going to give you a little bonus here. To provide more of this stretch around the lumbar, the lower back area, you can do a bit of decompression of your spine in the same position that you're in. If you bring your hands like letter L's on the bottom of actually the top of your femurs right here, so near my pelvis, and I'm going to keep my neutral I've already created. If I use my arms nice and strong and I push my leg bones away, that creates this bit of stretch along the sides of my lower back. So if I hold that, and I just allow myself to feel that stretch, a little bit of that spine decompression, it feels really good. And then release the effort through the arms. Do that again. Find your letter L's. Go ahead and push firmly into those legs, holding that. So technically, you're trying to push your leg bones away from the pelvis and then in turn, getting some of that lumbar to stretch. Feels really nice. And release. Let's do 1 more. Hands on the legs, pushing away and holding that. Little more space in there. And release what you have. Excellent. From this position, take the ball into your hands. We're going to place the feet ready for our footwork onto the bar. The ball is going to live just above your ankles. So what I want you to think about with the ball is the fact that you have this squeeze ability, right, on the object. When you just slightly hug the ball with your legs, you're going to feel effort all the way up your leg into your pelvic floor and into your torso and your lower abdominals. As you breathe out, right? We're going to really engage that pelvic floor. And as we inhale, we're going to go ahead and release it coming in. So here we go. Arms are long. As I push out, I've got that light squeeze. It's an exhale. Inhale slowly back. And just be mindful that you're moving with your breath today in this class. And inhale. And exhale. And every movement that you're doing, you're just thinking about your body in space, right? You've got all that spring tension, you've got some effort through the inner thighs, through the breath and the pelvic floor. And inhale to exhale. When I do this, it feels like I'm almost zipping up my legs all the way through the pelvic floor into the lower torso. So it's very natural as you exhale to feel that. Inhale, release. Exhale. And in. Last one right here for the heel position. Push. And return. Very nice. From this position here, I want you to take a moment. We're going to take our toes to the bar from this, parallel stance. So your foot position, notice your ankles. They don't have to be super high like a high heel. They could be about medium. Right about here is good for me. I still have that same squeeze. So my knees are parallel. I'm still thinking of hugging that midline and just keeping the breath flowing. So I keep my ankles where they are. On my exhale, I push back out. Inhaling back. Exhale. And inhale. Think of pushing through your center toes while you're pushing away, just to prevent some rolling of the knees inward. And in. You're standing tall with each press out. And you're lengthening that spine with each one. And in. We have 4 more. And in. And 3. And in. And 2. And in. Last one. And return. Bring the ball into your hands for a moment. Just bring it on your torso and you can rest right here. From this position, we're going to come out for calf raises. So what I'd like for you to do is just take your legs all the way out. And then as you drop your left ankle, you're going to actually physically turn your head towards the right side. So by doing that, you get a little extra stretch through the shoulder block, pushing into your left. Come back to center. Switch your sides. Turn towards the left, dropping the right ankle. Just a little bonus. Back at your center, and again. Center, over. So really focusing on allowing that spring to pull your ankle under the bar. And you're not forcing anything. You're just allowing that natural pull from the spring tension. And breathing. And over. We got 1 more each side. Across. And across. Excellent job. Go ahead and come all the way back and in. Now from here, we're going to work on a little bit more ankle stability. We're going to bring the ball back where it was prior. So I've got this parallel stance. I'm still on my toe boxes here. My arms are long. My pelvis is neutral. From this position, what I'd like for you to do is find that neutral ankle first. So not too high, not too low, right in the middle. From here, I'm going to go ahead and push out and hold about half of my tension through my springs. I'm going to lower my ankles and then go high. Lower and high. So I have tension and I'm really focusing on keeping everything nice and tight. Stabilize as I draw my ankles up, draw them down. We have 4 more. Feel all those muscles around your ankles supporting your position for 3. A little bit of a burn for 2. Definitely some effort, and 1. Very nice. Go ahead and come all the way back and into pause. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is just come on off to the side, bring the ball with you. We're going to come up and change our spring tension right here. So for you, let's go ahead and take it to a regular red. And with the regular red, if you have that second row of buttons, you can add a little bit more. That's what I personally prefer. Just like for the Allegro too, it just gives you a tiny bit more spring tension, or leave it on a red. It's totally up to you. For me, up to that red button, bring the ball with you, make sure that your straps are available for you, and let's come on to your back. Okay, so we're setting up for some supine abdominals. The first position that I want to do is just taking the ball here between my knees and thinking again of that nice neutral pelvis I started with for this class. I've got a squeeze on the ball. I'm really thinking of some effort through the legs, and I draw my hands into each of my small loops. Now for the arm work, or the ab work rather, as you move your arms down, you're going to be breathing out, and then you'll be inhaling, letting them rise. So we begin like this. We've got the squeeze, neutral here. As I exhale, all my air, arms are coming down. As I inhale, I rise back up. I stop right here. Exhale, back down. Inhale, back up. So with the breath, you're really just preparing your body to use your exhale to help you engage further into your core. And inhale and exhale. Now, bringing the arms back up, we're going to pause. What I want you to do first is collect some energy into each of the arms. As you push forward ever so slightly, feel your armpits engage, your shoulders are down. Now, breathing in through the nose, prepare. As I exhale, I lift my head, I push through my arms, I curl my body up. I'm looking at the ball, I'm holding here. And as I inhale, I slowly start to lift the arms first. Then lower the head and the chest. See how controlled that can be? Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift up, push through the arms, arms, lifting, strong through those armpits. And then begin to inhale, lower and lift the arms. Here's 2. Squeezing on that ball. Slowly coming back. Last 3. Slowly coming back. Make that as controlled as you possibly can. That's how we get the most out of it, right? Adding that body control. And slowly back. Your last one right here, exhaling to lift. And inhaling to lower. Very nice. Let's pause for a moment, bring the ball into the hands. Let's rest the feet on the foot bar. You can windshield wiper your legs side to side. And just take a moment right here. Good. From this position, let's go ahead and replace the ball back where it was. We're going to take our arms with us again, draw the legs up to tabletop, and squeeze on the ball. From this position, the head is down. I'm going to go ahead and just anchor my arms by the side and then turn my palms to face inward. And that gives me a little bit of a better anchoring system so I can keep everything really connected to that mat. Now, as I inhale, I'm going to go ahead and just dip my toes maybe 3 or 4 inches. As I exhale, I draw them back in. So look how small that is. It's really small and tiny, but it's very controlled. There's my inhale. And here's my exhale. Think again of the pelvic floor. Inhaling and then exhaling, contracting as you pull the knees back. Again, inhaling and exhaling. One more right here. We inhale. We exhale. Now draw the arms back up. We're going to pause again right here. As I lift my head this time, I'm going to do one of the same movements I just did. So as I exhale, I lift up. As I inhale, I slowly come down. It's very tiny. Exhale back. Inhale, replace your body. Let's go ahead and repeat that. Exhale to lift. Inhale. exhale, inhale. Keep it slow and keep it controlled, okay? Here's number 3. It's an inhale, exhale, and lower. 2 more right here. Inhale, exhale, and lower. Last one, use your arms, really push through. Inhale, exhale, and lower back down. Very nice. Take the ball back into your hands. Take a moment here, and then go ahead and come back and in. Replace your straps back where they live. Excellent job. And let's go ahead and move on to our next exercise. Coming off to the side of the reformer, let's go ahead and place our ball onto the ground for a moment. And for the knee stretches, what we want to do is take our spring up to just a regular red and a regular blue. So the first row, if you have the Allegro 2, not the buttons above, just the first row. 1 red, 1 blue. We'll be doing 2 positions for the knee stretches and making sure that your bar is secure. If you need to lock it, go ahead and lock it. I won't be using the ball for these movements, but we will be using it momentarily. I have my spring set up. I'm leaving my bar as is. I'm going to take myself through a few cat-cows because we're doing both a round back and a flat back for the knee stretches. So it's good for us just to kind of check in with the spine right here. Hands are on the platform. I've got my true 4-point happening right here. Taking myself through just 3 cat-cows. On my exhale, it's a real scoop and round. So actively push through those arms, tuck everything right here. And as I inhale, I pull through. I arc my body, I pull my arms down. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And your last extension. Nice. So now let's take those 2 shapes into the knee stretches. How I like to set up is hands on top of the bar. I've got my feet tucked here, so I'm on my shoulder blocks. I'm going to sit back, and just to create the round back, I'm on my heels to begin, pushing firmly through my arms, away from my ears, down into my bar. From that position, I lift my tail ever so slightly and I tuck my bum. So this is most of my round back for the knee stretches. Once I have tension, the upper body stays the same. So let's go ahead and inhale behind, just push the legs, and then exhale, almost like drag your knees under. Scoop, scoop, scoop your lower body, okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So notice the knee stretches go a little bit quick, but you control the spring and you control your upper body. It's an inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, hinge from your hips. 2 more. Keeping your head and your upper body nice and still. And we'll do 1 more. Come back and pause. Very nice. To set up for the flat back, let's just go ahead, recenter ourselves, energy through the arms here. I'm sitting back on my heels again, and I'm just going to basically lift up from that position, and that's my start. So ribs are pulled in. Try not to flare out in front. Here we go. We're hinging again from the hips. It's an inhale to exhale. Inhale to exhale. This one's a little bit different with where we feel this. So through the trunk, focus on the ribs, staying in, and out, and exhale. For 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Very nice. Come all the way back and in. Nice work. We're going to leave the red and the blue connected. Let's bring our hands back onto the bar. We're going to come into a half kneeling lunge. So I've got my foot this time on the platform, my shins up against the bar. From this position, I'm nice and square. I tuck my hips and I begin to push back. So I have a lot of spring tension just to support my position right here. As I feel this hip extension, and I've got this nice quadricep hip flexor stretch happening. Gently come back and in. And again, repeat. Squeezing that rear glute. That's really important. So we feel that quadriceps start to begin to lengthen. Use your arms for support. We'll do one more on this side. Pushing back, squeezing the glute and holding. Come all the way in to exchange your legs, replace back onto that mat of your reformer. Other leg comes forward here. Shin is up against the bar, and then just tucking your pelvis, squeezing your glute and pushing back until you feel a supported hip flexor stretch. So it's not about hanging out in your joints. Let me just kind of give you an example. It's not about how low you can go and how much flexibility we have. It's about using the spring and using the body to find a controlled angle so that you can stretch the proper muscles and actually feel it, rather than just kind of hanging out in our ligaments. It doesn't feel great over time. We want that support. Let's do one more like that. So we tuck, push back, keep our shin connected, and keeping the spine nice and long. Nice work. Come all the way in. Go ahead and lower your knee back to the bed. Nice work. Let's go ahead and remove the blue spring. I only have one red on. I'm going to come over here and lower my headrest and then spin my body to face the end of my reformer. Now, if you want a more challenging exercise, you can make your spring lighter than a red. You can go with a blue button or even a blue. But for beginners, it's good to start with a red, just so you have a lot of support for this roll back exercise. From here, we're going to grab up by the triangles. I'm going to just bring my bum a little bit closer in this direction. My arms are long. I've got my spine nice and tall. As I roll back slowly, I start to feel this lower body connect with the mat right about to there. And then from that point, I slowly come back and up. So you can feel a lot of support from the springs, right? Holding onto the straps with that position. The knees are not pinned together. You can have them slightly apart is fine. And rolling back. So rolling into that deep flexion and then rolling back and up. Now, if that's too challenging for you, do a halfway position. So halfway would just be literally to here, holding what you have, and then rebuilding. So you take it to what's comfortable for you. I'm going to keep going. This is number 4. Inhaling back, exhaling up, and again, inhaling back, and exhaling up. Last 3, notice your spine, pulling the pelvis under your body, rolling back and up. And 2, keeping the eyes forward. And your last one right here. All the way to the top. Okay, so what we're going to do here is come to a seated position on the side, seated in a crisscross. Now for beginners, let's go with a lighter spring and be conservative with this position, because of what we want to accentuate is the rotation versus a side bend or too heavy, and we'll be fighting it for seated rotation. So I'm going to get a yellow button and remove my red. That gives me more freedom to really emphasize the obliques as I rotate and the rotators along my spine. So sitting up tall, back here on the reformer, think about the pelvic position. You've got some length between the ribs and the lower abs. Grabbing your rear strap. Now I'm going to hold on to the long loop, and you can, if that's too easy, hold on to the small loop. Just gives you a little bit more attention. So here, I've got my arms long. I'm basically pointed towards my front shoulder block. From this position, tall body, I take the arms with me as I rotate across all the way to this side. So I'm really feeling effort through my right obliques and all the way back. And again, exhale, inhale. So it's not about yanking the spring and getting a lot of this momentum, right, with your body. Let's go slow. Here's 3. And all the way back. And 4. all the way back. It actually feels really good because you're not fighting that heavy, heavy spring tension, but you're really feeling the obliques turn your torso. Still creating that length from your spine, not collapsing in the lower back. We have 2 more. And your last one right here. Very nice. Go ahead and pause. Let's replace that strap back where it is. I'm going to turn around and face the other direction for the same exercise. So here we go. Seated position, nice and tall. Still thinking of lifting up through the midsection here and focusing on the spine. Here comes my rear strap. Hands are interlacing in the long loop. I've got my arms directly over my shoulder block. And here I go. Tall body. Not arcing the spine, just rotating. 1. Inhale back. Exhale 2. So if you feel like you're side bending, go slower. Really feel the tension that you're bringing along with your body. And 4. And slow. 5. Stay nice and tall through the midsection. 6. Nice and long through the arms. 7. Last 3. And 9. Really tall. Think of that torso. Give me 1 more right here. Controlling it back and all the way back and in. Nice work. You can go ahead and place your strap back where it lives. All right, so spinning your body forward from here, and then what I'd like for you to do is just take your spring tension to a blue spring. Again, if you want something a little more challenging for our series facing forward, what you can do is just add it to a blue button or switch out for a red. But the most important thing is that you're not shrugging up by your shoulders, which when we get heavier with our spring, we tend to be up here for the exercises. So I want you to maintain as long as you can make your body and relaxed through the shoulders and the neck. With your body, you've got a little bit of space from your shoulder blocks. I've got about a hand width between my body and where I am on the mat. I'm going to grab my straps and I'm going to hold this time my small loops within. From that same position, facing forward, seated position, I'm going to get my elbows somewhat soft and then start to slowly pull the arms up. When I pull the arms up, what tends to happen is that we arc our back or flare the ribs. Pull the ribs in, get nice and tall, and start to slowly bring the arms down. Exhaling 2. Inhaling back. Notice your head, if it starts to jet forward, right? We want to really think about how long we can make our body. 3. And we're just scooping through the arms here. 4. Inhaling back. Exhaling 5. Inhaling back. Exhaling 6. Inhaling back. Exhaling 7. Inhaling back. Get as tall as you can as you create that scoop of tension. Last 2 right here. Stay with it. We're working the front of your shoulders as you lift your arms and some of your chest. Your last one, we're going to actually lift up and hold it. So stay here. Now lower your arms directly in front of your bra line here, chest level. Soften your elbows. Lengthen your spine. I know it's hard. We're going to go open, open, open for hug a tree. Exhale, squeeze in front. Watch your rib cage from flaring out. I know we're really working through the core and the back to hold our position. And 3. And open. And 4. And open. Exhale 5. And open. Exhale 6. Super tall in your body as you close those arms. Here's 7. Exhale, 8. Keep your focus. And last 2, nice and tall. And last one right here. Very nice. Let's go ahead and pause where you are. You're going to bring your straps back where they live. Next up, we already have a blue spring on. Make sure it's at the regular setting below, not the button. And then we're going to tack on a regular red. So 1 red, 1 blue. We're going to bring our ball back into the mix, making sure our headrest is down. And I'm going to come down for my hip work here. Before I use the ball, I'm going to place one of my straps, long loops on that same side foot. And now I'm going to secure the other strap on my foot on the other side. With the ball, it's going to live right here between those ankles. And the first position, what I want to do is just think about a nice tabletop. So I'm coming back to my neutral pelvis here, little squeeze on the ball, flexing my feet. As I push out, it's an exhale from tabletop and inhale back. Exhale 2, inhale back. Exhale 3. So really think about that squeeze from the ball, transferring the energy all the way through inner thighs and pelvic floor. And 5. And in. Exhale 6. And in. Exhale 7. And in. Last 3. 8. And 9. Your last one right here, we're going to push all the way out. And now from there, bend back and in. Take the ball this time to the floor. We're going to go ahead and make a tiny little frog. So we start here in the frog position, the heels are squeezing. What I mean by tiny frog is that when I push out, I've got all the tension on my springs. Now, to get more pelvic floor and inner thigh, I'm nice and neutral. What I'm going to do is keep my feet flexed. I'm going to come in ever so slightly by bending the knees, micro bend, and then push. Look how small that is. Push. 3. So squeeze the heels. Do a tiny little frog like this. 5. You're going to feel a lot more pelvic floor, inner thighs. Just push all that control into space. Nothing big. How tiny can you make it with all that effort? Last 3. And 2, and 1. Hold what you have. You're at that level. From this position, let's go ahead and slowly open the legs out for straddle. Try not to let the legs fall. And then from that position, close all the way back in. Do that again 4 more times, reaching out. Keep the legs even in the air, squeezing in. And 3, and in. And 2, and in. Last one, and in. Wonderful. From that position, what we're going to do is something a little bit different. We're going to keep the tension that we have, and now I'm just going to open my legs about the width of the reformer itself. So it's not all the way out, it's about halfway. And I want to maintain my tension and control of my pelvis as I draw circles about the size of that purple ball I was using. So it's up, out, and in. 2, and in. So the legs have to move together to make this a successful exercise. Keep going. Pelvis is neutral here. Letting the rotation come from the hip joint. 2 more makes 8. I know it's effort. We're pausing here. Reverse, we've got 8. 7. Control it. Soften the knees. Try not to lock the joints. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Close what you have, bend in towards your body, hold on to your ropes. Here's a bonus, extend one leg with control. Come back and in, extend the other leg with control. And back and in. 1 more each side. And your last one here. Nice work. Let's go ahead and carefully take these off one at a time. Find the foot bar and then place your straps back where they live. Thank you so much for joining me for this beginner's reformer workout using the Allegro to Reformer. If you guys have questions or comments about the workout from today, go ahead and drop them in the comment box below. If you are someone who is seeking a piece of Pilates equipment from Balanced Body and you want to invest in something like this or maybe add on a tower to what you already own, make sure to check out the description below. I have all the details on how to receive a 5% discount using my full name with phone orders for Balanced Body. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me and have a great rest of your day. If you are seeking a full body program and you would like more instruction, make sure to check out the link below. The program I have is called Foundations. I'll take you through beginner, intermediate, and advanced exercises from Pilates mat work, resistance training, and mobility. Now, if you want to feel stronger in your body, more connected, being able to move and access your mobility, and feel more stable and balanced, make sure you check out that program. You can literally do it anywhere.